To unlock the secrets of someone's thoughts, it is essential to familiarize yourself with 3 specific techniques. These techniques hold the key to understanding and interpreting the inner workings of others effortlessly. Allow me to share with you a captivating Buddhist tale that imparts wisdom on the art of mind reading. In a bygone era, nestled within a quaint village, resided 2 brothers. The elder brother, regrettably, was afflicted with blindness, confining him to the confines of their humble abode. Meanwhile, the younger brother toiled away as a diligent farmer. However, their endeavors were persistently thwarted by the relentless intrusion of animals ravaging their crops. Troubled by this predicament, the younger brother devised a solution. He pondered, why not seek the assistance of my blind brother to ward off these intruders? If he positions himself in the field and alerts us upon hearing any animal commotion, our harvest shall be safeguarded. After careful consideration, the younger brother constructed a modest hut amidst the fields and placed his elder sibling within its sheltered walls. He elucidated, "Dear brother, should you detect any signs of animal presence, simply raise your voice in a resounding shout, and the creatures shall flee. Our crops shall be spared from harm." The elder brother embraced his younger sibling's proposal and dutifully stationed himself in the field. Whenever the sound of animals reached his ears, he would bellow, successfully instilling fear and driving them away. This practice endured for countless days. On one fateful occasion, a deer sprinted through the field, inadvertently breaking the fence in its haste to escape. Shortly thereafter, a king who pursued the deer arrived at the scene. The monarch's attention was captivated by the blind brother, and he inquired, "Have you witnessed a deer passing through here?" The blind brother responded with utmost sincerity, "Your Majesty, I am bereft of sight. How can I possibly lay eyes upon a deer? However, I can assure you that the creature which departed from my field is not worth pursuing. You would be wasting your precious time." The king was astounded by the blind brother's words and sought to unravel the mystery behind his insight. He questioned the blind brother's veracity, as he professed blindness, yet spoke of the deer's worthiness. In response, the blind brother calmly stated, "Your Majesty, the animal you perceive as a deer is, in truth, a pregnant doe. I have never heard a king hunting a doe. It would waste your precious time." The king was taken aback by the blind man's assertion. He couldn't fathom how someone without sight could accurately determine the pregnancy of a doe. The king's curiosity was piqued, and he felt compelled to investigate further. Instructing his commander, he ordered for the doe to be captured alive so that he could personally verify the blind man's claim. The commander carried out the king's orders and, upon returning, confirmed that the blind man was indeed correct. The king was astounded and perplexed, eager to uncover the blind man's secret. Determined to find answers, the king approached the blind man and sought his assistance once again. Expressing his doubts about the blind man's true blindness, the king posed a personal question, inquiring about his wife's faithfulness. The blind man, taken aback by the unexpected question, questioned the king's motives. However, the king insisted on an answer, threatening severe consequences if the blind man refused to comply. Upon hearing the king's threat, the blind brother calmly addressed his majesty, stating that in order to obtain the answer to his question, the king would need to grant him a favor. Curious, the king inquired about the nature of the favor. The blind brother then proposed that the king leave his wife alone with him in a room. Initially, the king was filled with anger upon hearing this request, but eventually he acquiesced and commanded his commander to leave the blind brother and the queen alone together. In that moment, the blind brother expressed his desire to touch the queen, which instantly ignited the queen's fury. She fiercely unleashed her wrath upon the blind brother, striking him with her hands, feet, and all her might. Despite the assault, the blind man somehow managed to escape and sought an audience with the king. There, he revealed to his majesty that his wife was unfaithful. Enraged by this revelation, the king drew his sword and confronted the queen. He sternly warned her that any falsehood would result in her execution. The king posed the question of her faithfulness, to which the queen responded with a resigned admission of her infidelity, even suggesting that the king should end her life. Astonishingly, the king found solace in this confession as it confirmed the truth of the blind brother's words. Filled with joy, the king hastened to the blind brother and inquired about how he had come to know of the queen's unfaithfulness. The blind man, displaying his wisdom, explained that when he expressed his desire to touch the queen, her violent reaction of beating him revealed her true nature. He further emphasized that a faithful woman would have simply refused his request rather than resorting to violence. Impressed by the blind brother's astuteness, the king agreed to proceed and offered him a chance to be released by answering one more question. The king then asked whether he was truly his father's son or someone else's. In response, the blind brother questioned the king's preoccupation with such a matter, reminding him that regardless of his parentage, he was the rightful king of the state. So let this question go. But the king insisted, No, I want the exact answer to this question. Otherwise, this question will always bother me, so I want to know the truth. The blind brother requested the king's assurance that he wouldn't get angry before revealing the truth about his lineage. The king, eager to know the truth, promised to remain calm. The blind brother then disclosed that the king was indeed his father's son, but he was also influenced by the presence of a miserly merchant. Intrigued by this revelation, the king hurried to his mother and demanded to know the truth about his parentage, threatening to end his life if she didn't comply. His mother confirmed that he was indeed his father's child, but the influence of the miserly merchant also affected him. The king was overjoyed by this confirmation and immediately returned to the blind brother. He questioned how the blind man knew about the influence of the merchant. The blind brother explained that he had accurately answered all the king's questions, yet hadn't received any rewards, leading him to deduce the king's stinginess. The king found this amusing and promised to grant any request the blind brother had. Curious about the blind brother's ability to provide precise answers, the king inquired about his method. The blind brother explained that although he was blind, he could understand people's thoughts by observing their actions. He believed that the mind had its own language, which could be deciphered through a person's body language, facial expressions, and activities. As a blind individual, he relied on these cues to perceive and understand others. And if he wanted to gain knowledge, he would assign a task to someone. If I wish to gain insight into someone's thoughts, I must delegate a task to them and observe how they approach it. By doing so, I can get a glimpse into their thought process. The king inquired, "So, does this mean I can also decipher someone's thoughts?" The blind brother responded, "Indeed, Your Majesty, you too can comprehend the thoughts of others. However, it is essential to first work on yourself. This involves calming your mind and being fully present in the moment. Today, I will share with you 3 simple methods to achieve this. But before that, Your Majesty, you must focus your mind. When we concentrate and live in the present moment, we can better understand the thoughts of others, as they are also thinking in the present. It is crucial for us to align our minds with the present in order to grasp their thoughts. If we are preoccupied with past events, how can we possibly understand what someone is thinking in the present? We must shift our focus to the present to truly comprehend their thoughts." The blind brother then assured the king, "With your permission, Your Majesty, I will now reveal the 3 methods that will enable you to easily decipher anyone's thoughts." Addressing the king, the blind man continued, "O king, the first technique is to observe the eyes. When engaging in conversation, it is crucial to maintain eye contact, as the eyes convey a wealth of information. By learning to interpret the signals in a person's eyes, we can discern their thoughts, intentions, and actions. Although I lack the gift of sight, I acquired the skill from the esteemed Gautam Buddha many years ago. He was my mentor and taught me how to understand people's thoughts solely through their eyes. If you are interested in understanding the thoughts of others, it is crucial to pay close attention to their eyes. By observing their gaze, the direction they are looking in, and their overall eye movements, you can gain valuable insights. For instance, if someone's eyes wander aimlessly while you are conversing with them, it indicates that they are trying to find an escape route from the conversation, possibly implying deception. On the other hand, if a person avoids direct eye contact, it suggests that they fear their lies being exposed and the truth being revealed. However, if their eyes remain fixed on you without any movement, it is likely that they are being honest and genuinely interested in the conversation. This indicates their willingness to engage with you and share their thoughts. Additionally, observing how a person's eyebrows move can provide further clues. If their eyebrows furrow while they look away, it could indicate deep contemplation or concern about something unrelated to the current discussion. Conversely, if their eyebrows raise and their eyes widen, it may signify surprise or curiosity regarding what you are saying. Furthermore, the size of a person's pupils can also reveal their emotions. The pupils, which are the black part of the eye, can expand or contract. If the pupils dilate and become larger, it suggests that the person likes you or is interested in what you are saying. This indicates excitement or happiness. Conversely, if the pupils constrict and become smaller, it implies that the person does not appreciate your presence or what you are saying. They may feel uncomfortable or angry. Moreover, the appearance of a person's eyes can provide additional insights. Pay attention to the color of the sclera, which is the white part of the eye. If the sclera appears red, it indicates that the person is tired, stressed, or possibly unwell. In such cases, they may not be inclined to engage in conversation. I recall an encounter with a weary traveler once. As we conversed, his eyes constantly darted around, never making direct contact with me. This behavior indicated his restlessness and desire to depart swiftly. I suspected that he might be concealing something and did not wish to engage in conversation. Curiosity got the better of me, and I proceeded to ask him more questions. It was then that I discovered he had a secret plan. Similarly, other facial expressions can also provide valuable insights into a person's thoughts. Sometimes, individuals display various behaviors through their facial expressions. By attentively observing these expressions, it becomes easier to discern if someone is disappointed, very sad, or extremely happy. You have the ability to discern the emotions that individuals are experiencing internally. Facial expressions serve as a means to determine these emotions. Your Majesty, the face can be likened to a painting that reveals the innermost feelings of individuals, even when they choose not to verbalize them. If you desire to gain a deeper understanding of people, it is crucial to pay attention to these non-verbal cues. For instance, when you encounter someone whose mouth turns downwards, forming a small, sad expression, it typically indicates unhappiness, dissatisfaction, or a sense of loss. Additionally, you can gauge their emotional state by observing their eyes and body language. Conversely, a genuine and wide smile that causes the eyes and cheeks to elevate signifies happiness, friendliness, and kindness. The eyes play a significant role in this process. When they narrow and sparkle, you can be certain that the smile is genuine. Take note of the area between a person's eyebrows, where the skin forms wrinkles. If these wrinkles become deeper and more pronounced, it often signifies confusion, intense contemplation, or an attempt to comprehend something complex or unfamiliar. The position of the mouth can reveal a great deal as well. A closed and tightly pressed mouth may indicate disagreement, dislike, or a reluctance to engage in conversation. On the other hand, an open and relaxed mouth suggests openness, comfort, and willingness to communicate. As you become more adept at recognizing and interpreting these facial cues, you will gain insight into people's thoughts and emotions, regardless of whether they express them verbally or remain silent. Their faces will serve as windows to their hearts. Regardless of whether individuals articulate their thoughts, you can comprehend everything by observing their facial expressions. Your Majesty, allow me to share a story with you. Once, I encountered a person who appeared sad and sought my assistance, yet they behaved as if they were indifferent. However, I noticed a faint line on their forehead, indicating that they were troubled. I encouraged them to confide in me, and they did. After sharing their problem, they felt better, and I was able to provide assistance. A genuine smile not only uplifts the spirits, but also brings joy to the eyes. It signifies contentment and kindness. Conversely, a frown causes the eyebrows to furrow, indicating worry or confusion. The eyebrows rise in surprise or curiosity, revealing the person's emotions. By observing their facial expressions, you can gauge how they feel. Furthermore, the blind brother informed the king about another form of communication known as the language of gestures and body language. To comprehend someone's thoughts, it is essential to understand their hand movements and body language. When individuals speak, they often accompany their words with hand gestures. In addition to verbal communication, body language plays a significant role in conveying a person's thoughts. The body and hands possess the ability to convey a multitude of messages without the use of words. It is akin to a covert method of communication, where one can discern people's desires and emotions through subtle actions. For instance, when someone rapidly taps their fingers while speaking to you, it may indicate boredom, impatience, or a desire to conclude the conversation. I recall an encounter with a person who wished to sell me something. He exhibited this behavior. Recognizing his nervousness, I negotiated for a better price, surprising him. Similarly, when someone crosses their arms, it may signify their disapproval or disagreement with you. It serves as a barrier, shielding their thoughts and feelings from others. By recognizing this gesture, you can approach them with kindness and caution, making them feel more at ease and open. Leaning forward during a conversation suggests interest in you or what you are saying. It demonstrates attentive listening and a desire to learn and comprehend. I once encountered a knowledgeable teacher who exemplified this behavior. Despite his calm demeanor, he leaned in with genuine interest, indicating his desire to delve deeper into the topic. Additionally, individuals who frequently touch their faces while conversing can provide insight into their thoughts. Frequently, these actions indicate concern, deep contemplation, or a significant idea. These subtle gestures provide insight into their thoughts and emotions. To excel in interpreting others through their gestures and movements, one must exercise patience, observe attentively, and value the unspoken cues. These seemingly minor yet crucial signals, akin to a silent book, reveal the emotions and ideas concealed within them, fostering a stronger connection. By honing in on these three techniques and interpreting them accurately, one can swiftly discern a person's mental state, gauge their level of engagement with our words, and grasp their inner workings. However, prior to that, it is essential to center your mind and be fully present. Only then can you observe and comprehend these behaviors, gaining insight into the person's thoughts. Otherwise, if preoccupied with past occurrences or future plans, one will overlook the individual's body language and fail to comprehend their thoughts. You may have encountered numerous revered saints and enlightened individuals who exude serenity and possess the ability to discern your thoughts and the lessons you seek from them. The primary reason for this is their capacity to perceive and understand you, stemming from their focused and tranquil minds. That's it for today's video. See you then.